Hello everyone, welcome back to another video on my channel, and today we're talking about Nicole. Because although they've had many fights this season, they've fought in basically every episode they're in.
Little hateful little
Hey.
This last fight over some cheating allegations may have finally brought an end to their relationship.
For real?
I'm for real. We were the first, Nicole.
So let's talk about it. We catch up with Nicole and Mahmoud a few days after their last fight, where the two of them agreed to give each other space and Mahmoud would sleep on the air mattress. And during this cool-off time, things seemed to be going pretty okay. At first.
So I thought maybe there's still hope for us and that we as a couple can be happy together here. But I guess I was wrong.
Mahmoud went to the local mosque and made some Muslim friends. Nicole kept, delivering pizzas or whatever she does. When suddenly, who could have predicted this, they had a big fight.
He's been accusing me of cheating on him, accusing me of all kinds of things. I don't know how much more I can take, really.
So here's what happened. According to Mahmoud, he texted Nicole around 8 p.m. And at that time, Nicole said she was on her way home. But while me, Mahmoud, and basically everyone else might interpret that as, 10 minutes, half an hour out maybe, Nicole didn't come back until 2 a.m., a full 6 hours later, and she arrived home drunk. Mahmoud, thinking that a romantic partner showing up drunk 6 hours late kinda sounds like something a cheater would do, asks Nicole who she was with. And Nicole, according to Mahmoud at least, said, "I was with nobody, I was just at work." Isn't she like an Uber Eats delivery driver or something though? Can you really drink on that job? Mahmoud, looking for evidence, asks to see Nicole's phone. Nicole refuses his request to see her phone and apparently freaks out and gets very defensive, which causes Mahmoud to think that Nicole must be hiding something. And while that's Mahmoud's side, Nicole thinks this whole thing is ridiculous and says she's not cheating.
I'm not cheating on Mahmoud. I don't have the time to cheat on Mahmoud. And I don't want to cheat on Mahmoud.
Okay, let's get one thing straight. Nicole, are you listening? That is shady behavior. Just my opinion, but I think when you say you're gonna be home soon, to then go out drinking for 6 hours, that's pretty weird. And hey, I get it from Nicole's perspective too. Nobody likes being accused of something that they didn't do. You didn't do anything wrong, but someone is treating you as if you did something wrong. No one likes that feeling. But come on, coming home drunk at 2 a.m.? That is the kind of thing a cheater would do. And you guys are giving each other space and you fight all the time. Again, even if she didn't cheat, I feel like it'd still be really helpful if she could just say something like, "Hey, I didn't cheat. I want you to know that I did not cheat, but I do understand from your perspective how you could be concerned. And because I have even the smallest amount of emotional intelligence, I can put myself in your shoes and recognize that I'd probably feel the same way." Again, even if she didn't cheat, she still has to admit that looks a certain way. But Nicole doesn't really have a good track record of taking accountability for her actions. In fact, as I've documented quite well in my Nicole and Mahmoud playlist, which you can check out right here, Nicole actually has a record of getting mad at Mahmoud and blaming him for his very reasonable emotions. So, back to the episode, how does Nicole handle these feelings from Mahmoud?
And I don't want to cheat on Mahmoud. So that's just more of his bull, I think, control stuff.
Ah, there's the Nicole we all know and love. She creates the circumstances that makes Mahmoud feel bad, and then when Mahmoud expresses to her that he feels bad, she dismisses his feelings entirely and chalks it all up to him just being on some controlling bullshit. This pattern from Nicole is actually so well established that when I put it like that, you don't even know what scene I'm talking about. She got mad at him for being uncomfortable when she brought her friends over to drink. She got mad at him for feeling hurt after she yelled at him. Twice. And now she gets mad at him for feeling sketched out at her sketchy behavior. Don't you just love it? After she drunkenly came home, Mahmoud's had enough. He's done with the blaming, the lying, and doesn't have anything left to give. And in his frustration, he apparently reveals to Nicole that he doesn't love her anymore.
So he says, "I don't have any feelings left for you, Nicole."
Nicole took that pretty hard. She says that she's basically immune to hearing him threaten divorce by now, since he's done it so many times.
When he says things like, I want a divorce, for some reason, I'm just like immune to it because he said it so much.
Which I had to laugh at. I mean, that's definitely not true. She said multiple times this season alone how much she hates that. But that hearing him say he doesn't love her anymore, that's a tough pill to swallow.
But then it feels more final and more real to say that you don't have any feelings.
Nicole explains that she's extra hurt because, as she says, even though Mahmoud's a great guy, he just has this side that comes out that she just doesn't know how to handle.
He's a really good person, actually. He's got a big heart, but it's just this other side of him that comes out so often that I can't handle.
And I thought that was interesting. Because even if we take her word for it, that Mahmoud is a great guy and that he does just have this side that comes out, from what we've seen at least, it looks like Mahmoud's side is just him shutting down. To be clear, he definitely could have a more abusive side that we just don't see on camera that often, but we've seen for years at this point that when confronted with hostile emotionality, Mahmoud has a pattern of just running away and shutting down. He goes for a smoke, becomes emotionally distant, says, fine, let's just divorce a lot. By the way, that is one reason why couples therapy can be so helpful. Even just knowing you have a pattern can be really beneficial. So, after we hear both sides, Mahmoud comes back home, and Nicole wants to know, does he actually not love me anymore, or was he just mad? They try talking about what happened, and then we get a big he said, she said, so I'm gonna do my best to summarize. Mahmoud says, okay, so I asked you where you were last night and you said you were at work. Nicole interrupts and says, I was at work, then I told you I was going home, then I picked up my friend Olga because she just had a fight with Julian. Do you remember those two?
You said I'm at work. You didn't.
No, I was at work and then I sent you a message. I said I'm going home and then I went and picked up.
And Mahmoud says, you lied about picking up your friend. Nicole says, no, I didn't lie. I picked her up and then we had a drink.
I went to Olga's and picked her up and me and Olga had a drink.
Now you made your story.
No,
yeah.
that's what I told you.
Yeah.
I can't tell from their interaction if when Nicole told Mahmoud that she was coming home soon, if that was the last text message she sent, or if she texted him later again and said, hey, I'm actually going out with a friend. It's not really clear from what we've seen. Mahmoud doesn't seem to be buying it and is like, this isn't what you said you did last night. And you came home at 2 a.m. drunk, so what gives? Nicole just doesn't care anymore at this point and is like, oh my God, who cares?
Like I was just like
Whatever,
at my work.
like who
at my work.
cares? Like,
And Mahmoud's like, I care. I'm your husband and this kind of bothers me. And then Nicole responds with this amazing line.
I'm care. I'm your husband. I'm
what
not
gets
happy.
me worked up is just you in general.
You know what I don't like? You. This whole fight and disagreement thing, yeah, I think the whole you part is the worst of it. It's funny because that's like the least functional way of handling a disagreement. I'm not a therapist, but you really want to keep the content of the fight as small as you can. If you're arguing about going out last night, then argue about going out last night. Just keep it at that. You definitely don't want to blow it the hell up and say, oh, you don't like what I did? Well, I've never liked anything you've ever done ever, and I never will. Like, no, just don't escalate it like that. That's just making the fight way bigger than it needs to be. And that's a thing we actually see a lot of from Nicole. Mahmoud says, hey, this thing bothers me. And Nicole says, well, everything you do bothers me. Mahmoud says, I'm upset about what happened the other day. And Nicole says, well, you know what? I'm upset about everything that's happened the last 4 years. That kind of conflict resolution, well, for one, it's just really annoying, but it also basically guarantees that you'll never actually solve a problem. I mean, how can we solve what happened last night when you blow it the hell up and make it about our entire relationship and me as a person? Kind of reminds me when she said the other episode that they've had problems for 4 years and still haven't figured out how to talk about it.
But we have this baggage that we don't know how to kind of work it out.
Well, yeah, you wonder why? This would be a great example of why you can't seem to ever solve your problems, Nicole. Anyway, back to the fight. Mahmoud says he's upset. Nicole says, I don't care. I don't even like you as a person anyway. Then she tells Mahmoud that he's so crazy, he must work for the CIA.
You like work for the CIA or something, you're so crazy.
No.
I don't really know what that's supposed to mean. Maybe she's been watching too many true crime documentaries. I don't know. When Mahmoud says this.
It's a moment I told you I need to see your message, you freaked out. And I know when you freaked out, you have something, I know your way.
Mahmoud believes that because Nicole freaked out and got super defensive about what happened last night and about looking at her phone, that must mean that she's got something to hide. While Nicole says that's BS and believes that Mahmoud should just trust Nicole when she says she's not cheating.
I was like, no, you just have to trust that I'm not. It was ridiculous.
And that she sees this whole thing and problem that they're having as just another cultural difference, and that her behavior is just another part of being American.
I think that the issue is that really it's just me being an American.
What? Acting shady and being really dismissive of your partner's feelings? Well, actually, when I put it like that, it does sound kind of American. But no, Nicole, you can't just hide behind the culture here. For one, just because you're American and have friends and go drinking sometimes doesn't mean that everyone should be okay with their partner going, hey, but honey, I'm done with work, I'll be home at 10, and then show up 6 hours later drunk. Maybe if she told him, hey, I was gonna come home, but my friend just called and she's in a bad spot and, I gotta go help her out. We're gonna go for drinks and talk things out, so I'll let you know, how things go. Something like that. And maybe she did, but it sounds like from Mahmoud that Nicole was just like, I'll be home soon, and then either didn't tell him she was going out, or was like, oh, I'm actually with a friend, bye. Either way, that's kind of weird. But also, given how toxic their relationship dynamic has been recently, I wouldn't blame Mahmoud even if Nicole said something like that, if he still didn't believe her. Nicole is all, you should trust me that I won't cheat. That should be good enough for you. But to me, I don't think the relationship's really in a place where she can say that. Besides the constant fights and Nicole continuously telling Mahmoud that she doesn't even like him, didn't Nicole accuse Mahmoud of being unfaithful just a few episodes ago just because he glanced in the direction of a female?
If you want an Arab woman, you should go get one. But after that little incident, I'm putting your ass back on when you go back to Egypt. I don't care. I've got my eye on you, let me just tell you that.
I was like, no, you just have to trust that I'm not.
Yeah, not the first person I'd expect to play the whole, well, you should just believe me card. Oh wait, I guess it is shady and distrustful people that would lie about that, so Mahmoud says there's been a lot recently. The clothes, the drinking, the fighting. And Nicole says, well, I only suck now because I was a perfect angel the last 4 years.
That's after 4 years of doing every thing you said and everything, and nothing I did was ever good enough.
And Mahmoud, rightly I think, says, it feels like you're getting back at me this whole time and I'm done.
You just want to show me you have the power here. This is my way, you accept or not, you. So I don't accept.
Nicole accuses him of being controlling again. Mahmoud says, no, I'm not trying to control you. I'm just done.
You don't have any control over what I wear. I'm not even talking
just what I'm saying,
that.
I'm not controlling you. I'm
you
going
are
to leave.
control.
And then this happens.
Okay, like that's it? All right, so you don't get to say that to me again, and tomorrow you don't get to wake up and pretend like everything's normal.
No, we were the first, Nicole.
I guess if you've broken up a bunch of times, then I guess you don't really know when you're actually broken up with. But Mahmoud seems serious this time. He says they've had the same problems their whole relationship and nothing's changed. Still fighting about the same crap and, surprise, getting married didn't fix their problems. Nicole's still not sure if Mahmoud's for real and says again that being threatened with divorce doesn't bother her, which we've been over that lie.
You've told me literally over 6,000 times in the last 4 years that you want to get a divorce. It doesn't hurt me, I'm immune to it.
But hearing Mahmoud say he doesn't have feelings for her anymore does hurt.
But you know what does hurt? It's when you say you don't have any feelings left for me.
Which makes it extra brutal then when Mahmoud hears that and is like, oh yeah, thanks for reminding me. I don't have feelings for you anymore, actually.
That you don't have any feelings left for me.
Yeah, you're right about that. I don't have any feeling because I don't feel in love from you anymore.
Then why are you here?
Brutal, man. But I'm with Mahmoud. It's time. Better to be direct about it and just get it over with. He's unhappy, thinks things won't change, and he can't do it anymore. He's done. Nicole then does her best, "You're not breaking up with me, I'm breaking up with you" act, telling him to move out.
I can't even, no, you're not, no, you cannot stay here for a few days.
Okay.
You can't stay here at all.
Okay.
And Mahmoud's like, yeah, I do want to move out. I want a divorce. I agreed.
This is what I'm saying. It's better we divorce.
Before Nicole runs off. And while Nicole cries, Mahmoud leaves. Nicole's heartbroken. She says they've been through a lot in their 4 years, and despite their problems, they always had feelings for each other, for better or for worse. But now that Mahmoud doesn't have those feelings anymore, then there is no point. And Mahmoud says that they can only give it a chance so many times, and things have only gotten worse when they do try, so what's the point of staying together? By the way, again, I think they would be a really good candidate for couples therapy. You know, they can learn their patterns and realize how they're not being able to communicate, but it doesn't seem like they're that interested. Mahmoud wants to stay with his friend from the mosque for a while he figures things out and hopefully eventually gets back to Egypt. And Nicole cries some more and laments the passing of their relationship.
And I'm falling, though I can't afford to leave.
So much of their problems really seem to come down to communication. Specifically, being able to talk and express how you feel to each other without blaming and yelling. Nicole's mad about her time in Egypt, and instead of sharing that with Mahmoud, she goes on a season-long revenge campaign to make him pay. She says she wants the two of them to talk about their issues, but whenever they do, she doesn't listen to anything he says and just gets really defensive. They have a clothing problem, but instead of trying to see it from the other person's side, they just devolve into a game of who has to sacrifice more, and if it's me, then fuck you. When really, they're both on the same side. Or at least they should be. Both partners in the relationship want to be happy and want the relationship to work. And both partners have this thing in the middle that's getting in the way. Culture, circumstances, miscommunications, traumas, baggage. And really, you're both on the same team working against the obstacles that the two of you together want to overcome. And it sucks that the two of them couldn't find a way to see things like that. Still don't know what's going on with that DV charge. Don't know how that plays into anything. You think they're going to be on the tell-all this season? Let me know what you think in the comments below. That's all I got for today's video. Let me know what you thought about Nicole and Mahmoud and their whole relationship in the comments down below. It's great to be back from my trip. I mean, I guess for most of you, I didn't really go away. Still the Saturday videos, but a big thank you to all of you channel members for helping support my channel and keep this career afloat, with an extra special thank you to Nancy Jones for being a producer of this channel. And until next time, I'll see you later.